Coco copies one shape from a masked stranger years before she understands what it is. One night alone, she finally tries it. It's the one kind of magic banned outright, a spell that acts directly on a living person. Her mother is standing right there, and before she can even move, she's Crystal. The witch who finds them, Kifri, has every right to erase Coco's memory and send her away. That's the actual rule for outsiders who see magic's secrets. He doesn't though. He takes her in instead, with one goal stated out loud: bring her mother back. Everyone reads what comes after as a girl chasing her dream, but it isn't that simple. It cost her everything. So in this video, I want to get into why Coco can never let herself rest, why fixing this has to be her hands and nobody else's, and why the closer she gets to saving her mother, the more of a criminal it makes her. Okay, so here's what's actually going on underneath this. When kids accidentally cause harm, researchers who study guilt in young children have found something specific. They don't just feel bad and wait for it to pass. They need to be the one who makes it right. Having someone else step in and fix it for them isn't the same, even if the damage gets undone either way. There is a name for that pattern: reparative guilt. And that's the part that actually explains why letting Kifri just handle the magic alone was never going to work for Coco. She's the one who caused it, so in her head, it has to be her hands that fix it, nobody else's. Here is the first piece of evidence. In episode 3, a god, one of the other apprentices, who's made it clear she doesn't think Coco belongs here, sends her out to complete a test alone on the dangerous mountains of the Dada range, hoping she will fail and get sent home. Coco doesn't argue and just goes. A kid with nothing to prove would push back on an unfair test like that, but Coco doesn't, because passing it is one more brick toward her mother. We all know how it ended. Second piece, and this one escalates. Later, she has a nightmare where becoming a witch is exactly what destroys everything, mirroring the accident all over again. A normal reaction to a nightmare like that is to slow down. Coco studies later into the night instead, pushing harder specifically because the fear got louder. And the sharpest version of this, she collapses from exhaustion, running a fever bad enough to need a hospital. She collapsed from refusing to stop. And here is why that actually matters, not just as a sad detail but as a proof of the whole pattern. A god forced the test into existence. Coco didn't ask for that, but once she's there, she has an easier option sitting right in front of her. She could just wait it out at the portal and let the clock run out till somebody shows up, but she doesn't. She attempts the climb anyway, in conditions that could kill her. Same thing with the nightmare. Nobody forces her back to her desk afterward instead of back to sleep. Every time the moment gives her an easier way out, she picks the harder one instead. Because in her mind, slowing down even once means she stopped trying to fix what only she can fix. The cost of that isn't just tiredness, it's a kid who can't let herself be a kid until the debt is paid. Okay, so she can't rest until it's her hands and nobody else's, but what if the actual fix she's chasing is illegal the moment she finds it? And this is where it actually clicks. The spell that turned her mother to crystal was banned magic. It's the kind that acts directly on a living person. The show never says outright that undoing it counts as the same kind of magic. But think about what undoing it actually means. Turning a person to crystal and turning them back are just opposite directions of the exact same spell. If one direction is banned, the other almost certainly is too, right? And here's something the show does confirm directly, which makes that bet a lot more solid. When Coco collapses from exhaustion, Kifri can't heal her with magic either. The same ban on casting spells on a human body covers healing too. That's stated plainly in the show, so he has to rush her to an ordinary hospital instead, the slow way, while she's burning up with fever. If even a simple fever can't be touched by magic because of this law, saving someone turned entirely to crystal is almost certainly the same wall, just a much bigger version of it. It's like being told the only way to fix something you broke is to break the same rule again, on purpose, in front of the people whose job is to punish you for it. The closer Coco gets to actually finding that cure, the more she risks turning herself into exactly the kind of criminal Kifri was protecting her from being seen as. And here is where it gets easy to misread the show's tone. A lot of what you watched week to week was warm, the atelier, the color palettes, the apprentices joking around. That's all real and it's not fake, but it was never the whole picture either, right? A god spends most of this stretch making Coco's life harder on purpose, and the show doesn't pretend that friction isn't there. What the warmth actually sits next to is an unresolved debt from episode 1 that the cozy scenes never touch and never pay down. Nothing in that hospital bed, that nightmare, that mountain test alone ever got paid off. The cheerful atelier isn't guilt going away, it's guilt with better lighting. Even if Coco finds the cure, even if her mother comes back, does that actually let Coco stop? Or was the drawing in episode 1 just the first death in a life that's going to keep finding new ones? So Coco never wanted to be a witch just for the magic. She wanted to undo one night she can't take back. And whether the story ever lets her actually rest once she does, that's still unanswered. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.